Remember when stories felt like the end of the world? Governments failing, society collapsing, teenagers saving humanity? Yeah, what happened to that? Because honestly, I think dystopian stories disappeared right when we needed them the most. Hi, welcome back, or welcome if you're new. I'm Annamarie, but you could call me Anna. Today, I want to talk about something that's been on my mind for a while. Dystopian stories. The Hunger Games, Divergent, Maze Runner. Actually, it's the one that started it all. The Giver, The Host. At one point, dystopian worlds were everywhere. And then now they're not seen as much. Actually, I seen them more internationally than Americanly. Americanly? Is that even a word? I do not know, but I'm continue moving on. Like Black Knight or The Rain. They're both on Netflix, by the way. And Netflix did try Uglies, which it wasn't bad. But that is another story for another time, if you want. So, the question is, why did dystopian stories disappear? And why do we need them back? For context, I grew up during the peak of dystopian fiction, even though I didn't watch them because Twilight literally had me in a chokehold. But I did hear about them, and now looking back after watching some recently, those stories weren't just about survival or rebellion or Dylan O'Brien running like his life depends on it. They were about identity, control, choice, fear, hope. They ask uncomfortable questions. What happens when safety costs freedom? Who decides what's right? What does it mean to be human in a broken system? And maybe that's why they faded. Because dystopian stories don't let you escape reality like some of these shows and movies now. They force you to look at it. Dystopian stories worked because they weren't really about the future. Stay with me here. They were about us. They exaggerated real fears, government control, social division, class system, media manipulation. They took real world issues and say, what if this went too far? And that made them powerful. Wait. Let's run that back. Dystopians equals, what if they went too far? I think dystopian stories faded because one, they became overdone after the Hunger Games. Two, people wanted comfort instead of confrontation. And three, reality started feeling dystopian enough. Literally, 2020, when COVID was hitting, if that isn't dystopian, then I don't know what is. And when the world feels heavy, people don't want mirrors. They want escape. But here's the thing. Dystopian stories aren't about despair. They're about resistance. They're about ordinary people realizing this isn't right. They reminded us that system can change, that voice matters, that hope survives even in ruins. And honestly, that's something that we need. As a writer, dystopian stories taught me how to think critically. They taught me that stories don't have to be comfortable, but to be meaningful. They can be messy, they can be scary, they can ask questions without giving easy answers. And maybe dystopian stories don't need to look the same anymore. Maybe they don't need the arenas or factions. Maybe modern dystopians look quieter, subtle, psychological, personal. And I might have an idea for that in the back of my pocket somewhere. But that's for later. Okay? You know, what I don't think dystopians stories are dead. I think they're just waiting to be evolved. And I think writers, especially now, have something important to say. Not to predict the future, but to challenge the present. Something that needs to be talked about. For example, the Hunger Games. What made it so popular? It literally was going too far when it comes to entertainment. People literally was getting entertained by a raffle, and then these people from these different factions coming together and killing each other. People were literally getting entertained by that, and it makes you question, how far would you go? That just proves my point. So let me ask you, do you miss dystopian stories, or am I just not looking hard enough? Or do you think they have their time? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you for listening. I'll see you all around. Bye bye.